Hello, welcome to Oracle of the Tides. And like the tides, this message is arriving to you at its own time and right on time. So, to get into it and clear the air right now before things start glitching. So, last two times, uh, I'd had issues recording and it take me a day. And then after another day, I'm finally like, you know what? Because that stopped on me twice. And I was like, dang, I'm trying to glue these three clips together. So I wasn't able to. So I'm like, okay, I'll just upload the 15 plus minutes, which was the last video. And the other ones, I'm just going to give an overview uh, towards the end because there's some clips that are lost. But I know with the last video, it was talking about going backwards to bring something forward with you. And sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to like get into a space and harness those energies that you use in the past where you probably didn't understand how to use it. You've grown now. You've learned more magic. You're more comfortable with yourself. You know your own recipes. So now you're transforming, you're transmuting, you're taking the energy from the past that you've learned that, or maybe you didn't quite understand, but now that you have the knowledge and wisdom to understand and the discernment, you're taking that energy and you're now putting it into your new pot, into your new soup that you're mixing and creating to manifest. And you know better now not to have too many people in the pot. All right, so moving forward with the remaining messages that um, I want to share from the last one before, excuse me, we start a new reading. This is like the third time my throat starts crackling up. Okay, I know before I was picking up the ages 34, 25 to 27, and a woman saying, you need to do this, you need to do that, and like, like you need to go ahead and write your book and go to your class and like your teachings, your schools, all that stuff, and like picking up and like I was picking up passed on relative, a spirit, someone that's always around you, and this also could be amongst, an auntie, or picking up a woman, but also picking up a woman of white, you know, uh, shaking her head. For some, it might be a little blonde, with a flowy white dress. And I know it's always like, why is it flowy white dress? Maybe perhaps she was a practitioner, you know. But it's like the auntie is sweet, but also there was a little spice energy to it, where it's like, go on and do this. Like she ain't gonna sugarcoat it. She's gonna tell you like it is, even though she has a soft heart. I feel that part was really specific, and she's like, I know this, go up and do it. And you probably heard it so many times. So this is your confirmation. If you've been talking to other people or random people and they're telling you the same thing, boy, you need to go ahead and start this business with your truck. Boy, you need to go ahead and do this, with your entrepreneurship. Girl, go ahead to school, or you need to stop doing a certain thing, whatever, repeatedly. That's the universe trying to warn you. And a lot of times, in the spirit world, they see a lot of shit that you don't, And I was also picking up that passed on ancestor was like, I see the bag, and I was also picking up slightly like Pisces type energy. I know we're in Pisces energy in general, but heavy on Pisces energy, maybe a heavy placement, water sign, also Taurus, Virgo, where you might be one. I'm picking up also an energy that likes to drink and party a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's so much. And that's why I was also seeing the numbers in the 20s, and that doesn't have nothing to do, because you could be old and doing that, but like specifically I was seeing like a guide saying, listen, start your business, your journey now, because it's like you are stopping your own self from getting your bag. Like picking up on like the spirit is like, you have money to you manifest this, you're going to be traveling, you're going to be starting your business, go ahead and do this, like heavy on a heavy like heavy abundance, like so much planned for you. And heavy, like when I tell you heavy abundance, but it's like that energy of someone is like, I want to have fun, I want to chill, I'm going to worry about that later, blah blah blah. Like, we've all been through. Also was picking up in real time an uncle and an aunt, and heavy on what I was picking up on an uncle. Possibly an uncle was picking up someone who owns a truck, possibly a Toyota, moving, something about moving. He could be doing construction. You might be the niece or nephew that has an uncle that does construction, or you might be the guy that does, that has the Toyota truck that does construction or doing a lot of moving back and forth. Also picking up that perhaps this person doesn't have any children, and so they are like that cool uncle to their niece and nephews, and you're trying, and I'm picking up also, hey, you're trying to put, you know, your niece and nephew on to, like, whether it's doing construction too, something with working with your hands and moving stuff, lumbers, whatever, in contracts, and just trying to like better them, and like listen, and I'm getting like, I wish I knew what I knew now back then. And it's like, you're trying to tell them, you're trying to tell them, but they ain't listen. It's going on one day out there, and I was also picking up like that uncle's frustrated, because they probably have that sibling where they didn't have kids, and regretful. I'm also picking up somewhere in their like 40s, 43, around 43. um I was also picking up Paris, like whether it's the name or you're going over to, Paris. Let me see. What else? Oh yeah, also with the the aunt. On the aunt side, it's like she's for her pearls. She's living lavishly and in her energy. And it could be an uncle and an aunt that's trying to also help that niece and nephew, but the uncle is really trying to beat it in. The aunt at this point, it's like the energy of, I've been there, done that. I know, I've seen them, and at this point, I'm living my life. I don't have no kids or the kids out the house, but heavy on this is specific. I don't got no kids. I'm out to like live lavishly, and but the door is open when they want to. So it's that type of approach. Let's see. I'm gonna wrap it up and then start reading. All right, y'all bear with me. Sorry. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then towards the end, three of the cards that came out was Scorching Flame, Living Room, and Temple. And so for that energy, someone holding a lot of energy, a lot of like burning up creativity, heavy, 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 heavy on creativity, like picking up Aries energy, or you're around someone with Aries energy that has the fire, also picking up Taurus, so a mixture of two, both in creation and grounding, and know how to put it, but heavy, 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 heavy creation energy, and you're burning up and at your peak. And with the living room, it's now in a zone of like living rooms. That's where you invite friends, you invite family to have communication, to network. And it's the energy of now finally coming together in the starting phase of, you know, let's do this, let's do that, excuse me. Ooh, heavy on that. Protect your business chakra. Communication, don't tell everybody your business, what you're doing, not on some fear factor shit, but be mindful. You don't have to tell everybody, you don't have to include everybody. But I feel like also I'm suddenly picking up Pisces energy, so possibly dealing with the Pisces. um Also the energy of water, communication, and knowing how to like flow with people. Also picking up a person who knows how to also, like I said, flow with people with their energy. I'm not saying like charismatic, but they know how to move. They're more, it's organic for them, and it's at it. When I tell you it's peak right now, it is so peak. And getting those pieces together, and then, like I said, the third card was the temple. So in the temple space, you want it cool. You want to be able to, but you do still want to be able to bring the flame when you want to, not where it's burning up, because you want to have some balance. You have your charge, you have your energy and fire to create. You have the living room of communication, and talking to people, bouncing out ideas, giving different perspective, picking up Aquarius energy, heavy Aquarius energy, heavy air energy and communication, but heavy Aquarius energy, where you want to move that, just like the air to the fire. Where do you want to move this creativity? But don't let it burn. Don't allow too many people to burn you out and to flame you into in so many different directions, but heavy on flaming you into tethering into all these people. Stick to your shit. You can network with people. You can come together, do projects, but don't tether yourself to all these different people, because then you're going to be burnt out. Your flame is going to be low. Okay, it's not gonna be burning because you were like, Oprah, you the car, you get the car, you the car. But in this case, it's energy. You get my energy, you get my energy, you get my energy, and I know it feels so much like you can handle it, and it even may come into like a little sprint of that, but that's not something for long term. You have to build on your own energy. You have to build on your own energy. You have to build on your own energy. Nothing wrong with connecting and networking and allowing them to also fan and do their thing. But it is very important that you have your grounding, because I'm also picking up like this has probably been the highest peak you've been, the highest energy you've been. And so now, if when you're used to getting energy, you just want to share it, you're not doing that anymore. You're not doing it anymore. You don't have to feel guilty about that either. People will understand. There are going to be people that's going to come to the cracks trying to be like, ooh, your energy feels good, and sipping it up like a straw. And like, you have enough energy. Why don't you do this and do that? They'll even try to guilt trip you into this. No means no. You know what I'm saying? You can pick and choose, but at the end of the day, people will respect your boundaries. People and people that mirror you, not in a sense of they're trying to take your shit, but they understand, hey, because they can meet you in the same peak. They're the same way, so they understand. You know, it's like when two or more people, they know when to come together, but they also respect each other when it's like, yo, I need my space, my solitude, my downtime, and not gimme, 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 gimme. Okay. And like I said, making sure your temple is cool, how you walk is cool. You know, a little bit of cool waters, a little bit of air and water energy mixing in your temple, your household. So we want to open up those windows. You want to have glasses of water or vases of water pitched around, maybe by the window, but not in an angle where you're trying to like turn into a magnified. If it's that thick of a glass, I'm joking, but you know what I mean. You know, having those elements with the plant, maybe somewhere, whatever. Even if you want like uh, water-based plants, you know, just thrive on water. You know, to keep that flow through a clear glass, because plant magic does wonders, especially in your household. I believe in putting a plant in each room. Energy flow. All right, that I think that is it. So now let's get into it. If you've stayed thus far, thank you for staying. Ooh, I didn't even mean to pick up the love deck, but I guess we're here. All right, let's see. And we'll go from there. Is there a love message specifically for someone? Sagittarius, Pisces, Cancer. Oh, here we go. Yep, water sign Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Water sign, water babies, all in your heart. Date night. Oh, y'all about to go out or something? Honeymoon, okay. Are you guys interested in a Gemini? Guardian angel. Okay, let's put one more. Give it time.